Hello. I thought I'd take a look at my Tesla Model 3 LFP battery range degradation since the video I did 6 months ago, wondering if it's got worse or better. It got lots of response at the time, and I'm very, very grateful to all the comments. What I said at the time, that I was no longer going to charge my Tesla Model 3 with the LFP battery to 100% all the time. That's recommended by Tesla, and the reason was because I had worked out, at the time I'd done 7,500 miles, and when I'd first had the car, it had a maximum range of 263 miles, and that had gone down to 257 miles. That was 6 miles, so which was over 2%, and that was charging to 100%. Now, if you look at the video again, I worked out for every 1,283 miles I did, I would lose 1 mile of range. So I thought I'd take a look at it again to see whether it has improved or if it has actually got worse. Tesla say you should get about 1% reduction in range over 20,000 miles. So for my Tesla Model 3, it started at 263. 1% is 2.6 miles, but it is definitely more than that. I charge about half the time at home and half the time at Tesla superchargers. Been on long road trips to Scotland, Wales, the Isle of Wight, and also to Portugal, which is very nice. So I did stop charging to 100%, but because of all the comments, I went back to charging 100%. But I still had this thought about the Tesla supercharger. Should you charge to 100%? Well, they don't actually recommend it with an LFP battery. In fact, what happens is when you get to the Tesla supercharger, it tells you when you've got enough electricity, plus a little bit more, to get to your next point. Now, obviously, Tesla don't want you everyone going to 100% at their superchargers, because the whole process is much slower. If everyone was going to 100%, they would have longer waiting lists than they do already. Not that I've experienced many. So in practice, on the long road trip to Portugal, there were a few times it did go to 100%. But if the next supercharger wasn't that far, then it didn't matter quite so much. I would go to 80-90%. So I think the real damage is probably done at the superchargers to 100%. Naturally, Tesla don't want you to do that because of the queues. But charging at home, according to all the many people who left comments, it helps it recalibrate, and it's better for you to get accurate results of what your maximum range is going to be. And in fact, after that last video, at the time I think the range had gone down to 256. On one occasion it did go to 257, but it only stayed there for a very short time. It soon went. Not all Teslas have the LFP batteries, and you can see which one you've got going to control software and additional vehicle information, and it says there that Tesla recommends you keep the charge limit to 100%, even for daily use, and also fully charge your vehicle to 100% at least once per week. So in the earlier video, I had worked out for every 1,283 miles I drove, I lost 1 mile of range, which wasn't good, and certainly not as good what Teslas say, 1% every 20,000 miles. Since then, we've driven 12,850 miles. The range is now 255 miles, and that's 8 less than the original 263. That's a 3% degradation. However, the good news is I only lose 1 mile for every 1,600 miles. Earlier, it was 1 mile for 1,283 miles. That was 6 months ago. So that's a big improvement. So it's always good to look at the numbers. There's too much people saying, oh, I think this, I think that. If you look at the numbers, you can see exactly what it is. But anyway, thank you very much. It's getting dark. Moon's up there. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you can like and subscribe if you did. And thanks for getting this far. And I'll see you next time. Thanks very much. Bye. And please don't forget to use your reusable coffee mug wherever you go.